G'day everybody, it's Ben. Hope you're enjoying your Friday. We're back in my favorite program on the planet, Photoshop. For this little video, I just wanted to go through how you can actually just manipulate and distort and have a little bit of fun. So first thing I need to do is get real small. So I'm gonna just concentrate here and why I like manipulating these sorts of photos is because there's no buildings with proportions. You know, buildings usually have straight walls and straight roofs, whereas at the ocean, you know, everything's just wibbly wobbly. It's all good. All right, so there's a bunch of ways you can get started working in Photoshop. And if you're looking at your Photoshop, looking at my Photoshop and thinking, these two things don't matter, don't line up, don't forget, you can always go up to this little button here, which is just here, and choose a workspace. And I'm going to work out of the photography workspace for this. Let's do some work. Now, I've got my image here. I've selected it. You can select things pretty much the same way as you do in a word processor. All I did was I did Command or Control A. And now I've got a lasso all around that image. If you want to deselect, Command or Control D, Command or Control A. And if you don't like keyboard shortcuts, I get that. Don't forget that you can go up to your select menu here and you can do a bunch of things like select all, reselect. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here. Okay, so I've just got everything selected and I'm going to go to one of the most fun ways to distort. I'm going to go to the filter menu and I'm going to go down to liquify. And this is super fun. We've got lots and lots of tools over here, and these tools will change, and these tools and preferences here will change depending on which option you choose from this menu here. So you've got a tool here where you can just push pixels. You've got a twirly tool. You've got a pucker tool, you've got a bloat tool, you've got one where you swap pixels like they actually invert, you've got masking tools and a whole bunch of other tools here. You've even got options here to change people's faces and things like that. That's not going to work on this photo because there's not really a prominent face. Lots and lots of fun. And if we just play through them really, really quickly, if I get this tool here, the forward warp tool, that means when I tap and hold with my mouse and I push in a direction, I can move the pixels around. And to resize your brush, you've got lots of options. The size slider over here is a pretty good one. You can also go Command, square brackets. Another cool thing, which I love in Photoshop, is if you tap on the zoom tool, you can obviously zoom in really, really quick. But if you double tap on the hand tool, boop, boop, it takes you back out. So I'm going to grab my forward warp. And you can see here, it's nice and small. So I'm just making little changes in here, which can be kind of fun. Make a nice little abstract pattern, something like that. The other way you can maneuver things is with the bloat tool. And for the bloat tool, I think you really it's nice to work with a brush that's quite a bit bigger with what you're working with, because as you tap and move with the bloat tool, it actually expands things out. The tool above it, the pucker tool, let's grab this. Again, very, very small brush. I need to make that nice and big. Contracts things and shrinks it back in again. I want you to have a play around with liquify. We can do a bunch of weird, wild things in here. I'm just going to be real quick. I've just reset everything. Let me grab a big old forward warp. Maybe not that big, maybe 2000, 1000, let's see. Something like that. And I can just sort of give these waves just a little bit of, I don't know, drama. Little bit strange. Just to, give you the idea that this is happening here. Might just push that water back in there a little. Oh, got to watch those edges. That'll do. One thing I just want to show you in Liquify really quickly is this option here. So we grab the reconstruct option. Spend a little bit of time playing on this. So if we tap on reconstruct, you can actually, well, let me just show you what happens. So if we grab the slider and drag it back, you see how it kind of goes back in and out through time with your adjustments. So if you feel like you've done too much, you can obviously bring it back. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to drag that into the bin, and I'm going to bring out my history menu here. Whoop, tap, get back in there, you little rat bag, and just go straight back up to the open state. Cool, because I want to make a cool little picture here. I want to do it in a really fast way. I'm going to go select all, okay? And then I'm going to go, basically, I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it. So now I've got 2 layers. And on this top layer here, I'm going to select it once more, and I'm going to use a transform tool under the edit menu, and it's called free transform. This is cool because, you know, obviously it's a way to resize your images, which is something you're going to do a fair bit of. Let me just cancel out of that, go back in it one more time, free transform. Basically, the one I want this time is I just want to flip it. I'm going to flip it on the vertical axis, which is not the one I want. I want to, very good, flip it on the, let's flip it back there. I want to flip it on the horizontal axis. So it's a little bit weird, but I want you to stay with me on this anyway. So I've got my 2 layers, one's pointing this way, one's pointing that way. Grab my move tool, and I'm just going to drag this layer all the way off the page, but just so it snaps precisely edge to edge. Nice. With that done, what I'm hoping to do is reveal all my pixels. So some are off the page, some are on the page. But if I go up to image and reveal all, what I've got now is, if I grab my hand tool, a long kind of panorama. It does have a join in the middle, but you can't really see it. Let me just double tap that hand tool to fit it all on the screen. And, you know, really quickly, just by using free transform, we've kind of got this cool graphic. Well, I think it's cool. It's a cool way to play with patterns and lines. And again, if you don't like the precise symmetry of this, we can always mess it up a little bit. I could grab my spot healing brush. Better select that layer, grab my spot healing brush. I need to make it a much bigger brush than that, don't I? So let me press and hold there, drag up the size. There we go. If I want to just make this a little bit more random and bespoke, I can take away that character, leave that character. And again, if I wanted to just add some randomness into these waves, absolutely very easy to, let's take all these layers. I want to just flatten the image. So that'll just take all the layers, make them into one image again. And we could even go up to the filter menu, go back into Liquify, and just very, very gently with the forward warp, we could just introduce just enough randomness into this image that, you know, helps the brain of the viewer think, oh, this is really a custom image. Maybe not quite. But anyway, I hope you had a bit of fun with that. I hope you learned a few tricks about how to move pixels around in Photoshop, whether that's in an intense way with Liquify or just a kind of more sedate, chilled out, more common way with free transform. Anyway, it's just been fun hanging out, talking photography and Photoshop with you. So thank you.